To make the earrings, you'll need 2 8mm round beads, 2 inches of gold loop chain, 2 head pins, also gold, and 2 earring wires in gold. For tools, you need round nose pliers and wire cutters. To get started, we're going to take our length of chain here, and for this design, we're going to use 6 of the large links in the chain for each earring. So I'm going to count 6 lengths of the large loop. You see there's like a little loop in between the large loops. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me make sure I've got that right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great. So what I want to do to cut the chain is cut right through the length that's underneath the number 6 loop. So to do that, when you cut chain, you just cut right through it, which kind of blows people's minds, but really that's how you do it. So I'm just using my wire cutters and I'm cutting that. And now to make the earring, I'm going to feed a bead onto one of our head pins, like that. Oh, and actually, it looks like the hole in my bead is larger than the little flat end of my head pin. This is a classic problem that you can run into when you're working with head pins. See how my bead slides right over? So because of that, we've got a nice little trick that you can fix that. So it's an easy mistake to fix. We're going to use a tiny little gold bead. You see the tiny gold bead there? Slide that onto our head pin. And what that's going to do is act as a little stopper and keep our bead from sliding off. So there, easy fix. Now what we can do is make a wrapped loop right above that bead using our round nose pliers. So I'm grasping the wire of my head pin with my round nose pliers. I'm going to bend the wire toward me 90 degrees, reposition the pliers to the top of that bend, pull the wire up and over the top jaw of my pliers, reposition the pliers so the bottom jaw is in the loop now, and then I'm going to pull the wire around to finish the loop, but I'm not going to wrap it yet. I'm going to leave it on my pliers like that because that's going to make it easier to attach it to the chain. So I want to use my chain that I already cut, which is the 6 loop chain, and I'm going to dangle my chain like that and sort of fish the end of my head pin wire into that last loop, like that. Then I can nestle the chain down into the loop, like that. So I've got the last link of my chain connected now to that loop that I made. And now I want to wrap the loop, and that'll make it secure. I'm going to use my round nose pliers. I'm going to grasp across the loop and then pull the tail of my head pin wire around the neck 2 times. And then I'm just going to trim the end using my wire cutters, like that. I can get in there, there we go. And if you end up with a little bit of an end sticking up, you can always use your pliers to kind of press that end down into your wrap so that no one can see it. Just like that. There we go. So now we've got our bead attached to our chain, and all we have to do is add our earring wire to the top. To do that, there's a little loop on the back of our earring wire. I'm going to use my round nose pliers, and I'm just going to grab onto that little loop, and I'm going to rotate up and rotate the other part of the earring wire down, and that opens it without changing the shape of that loop. Now I can just take my chain and feed that first link of the chain through that earring wire loop, and then use my round nose pliers again to just rotate and close that loop. And there's our first earring. So pretty. I absolutely love the look of this bead. It's nice to feature it in earrings like this. And now I'm going to repeat all of those steps to create my matching earring. So the first thing I want to do is count out my links again. I want 6 of my large links. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want to cut through that little link that's beneath my number 6 link there. And be careful not to cut through the link that you actually want to use. Now we'll take our head pin just like we did before and feed on our tiny gold bead that's going to keep our larger bead from sliding over the end of our head pin. And this is probably just a 2mm gold round bead. You really could use anything you want. We chose the gold bead because it matched the flat end of our head pin, kind of disappears once you slide the bead on. Now I'm going to use my round nose pliers and I'm going to make a wrap loop just like I did before. Bend the wire toward me 90 degrees, reposition the pliers to the top of the bend, pull the wire up and over the top jaw, reposition the pliers to the bottom jaw, and then pull the wire around like that. There's my loop. Now I'm going to take my chain and I'm going to fish that last link of chain onto the end of my head pin wire like that. See, it's down there in the loop now. Whoops. And now I can wrap my loop with my round nose pliers by grasping across the loop and then pulling the neck or the tail of my wire around the neck 2 times like that. Now I'll just trim my wire like I did before. And now I can open the loop on my earring wire and then sort of fish on the first link of my chain, nestle that down into the loop, and then just do what I did before to close the loop. I'm just rotating it closed. And there we have a beautiful pair of bead and chain earrings.